For the purpose of this presentation, I'm using a choice sirloin tip steak. Normally I would use a T-bone steak, but this one was on sale, so that's what I'm going to use for this presentation. It has little fat, very little marbling there. It's nice and red. So we're going to have to let it thaw out, and then we'll come back to it.
Have you ever gone to a steakhouse restaurant and just wondered how they get their steak so juicy and wonderful? That is assuming you've had a good steak, of course. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you just how easy and quick it is to have restaurant-style steaks at home. Many people, not just college students, are trying to cut back on their expenses. Many people are trying to budget their money a little bit better. With the economy being the way that it is, cutbacks are happening left and right. Hopefully, this isn't happening to many of you, but eating out tends to be the first thing that goes in the budget. Wouldn't you still love to have the wonderful flavor of a steak without having to break your bank? First, I'm going to show you the ingredients. The ingredients that you'll need to make your restaurant-style steak is, first you have to have a cast iron skillet. The cast iron skillet is probably the most important thing in this process because, well, I don't really know why. I just know that a regular pan is not going to work. We will be using the oven and you're going to be cooking on broil, so that's, you need that cast iron skillet. The next ingredient that we have is Worcestershire sauce. Yes, I know I can't say that right. I tend to have my southern accent get in the way, but this is what you need. You also are going to need some lemon juice. Any kind will do. And then I used cracked pepper and salt, but any kind of salt and pepper will do. I also like to use Montreal steak sauce, actually steak sprinkles. You can use any kind of steak flavor seasoning that you like. That's kind of the beauty about this recipe, is you can kind of adapt it to your own little taste buds. I think my steak is finally done thawing, so I'm going to get it ready. Alright, so I've put my steak in the pan. Now I'm going to come over and turn my oven on to broil. And we're going to let that warm up while we come back over here and get started on the steak. We have a nice cut of steak, not a whole lot of fat. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the salt and pepper. There really is no set amount to how much salt and pepper to use. It's just kind of your own personal preference. I'm going to do both sides. So there's a salt and pepper on there. Okay. Then we're going to take the Montreal steak sauce. And we're going to add some of that on both sides as well. And don't worry if some of the salts and the seasonings get in the pan, because they're still going to add flavor. Another option would be, if you like onions, you can certainly slice some onions and put the little onion circles underneath the steak while it cooks. Okay, now we have our seasoning on there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the lemon juice. Again, there is no set amount. It's basically a personal preference. I saturate the top and put a little bit in the pan. Not a lot. Might be a lot for some, but we happen to like the flavor of the lemon. Most of it will cook out. And then a little Worcestershire sauce. And again, just kind of dump it on there to your personal preference. I have no set amount. And then I flip the steak over so that it'll soak up on the other side. And then of course we have to wash our hands. Anytime you touch raw meat, you know you need to wash your hands. So. Okay, I have a spatula and I have some tongs. I'm going to place the pan in our broiled oven. And it's going to cook in there like that for about 3 minutes. Okay, so I've let this steak cook for 3 minutes. I used my tongs and I flipped it over. As you can see, there's a lot of juice still in there. At least I hope you can see it. Kind of starting to sizzle. I just kind of move my steak around a little bit. And I like to add a little more lemon juice so it doesn't get too dried out. And it kind of helps to mix up with the juice of the steak a little bit. Now, depending on how you like your steak, whether you like it rare, medium well, or well done, is going to determine how long you're going to let this cook. Fortunately for me, I won't be eating this, so it's going to go on my fiance's plate later tonight. And he likes his medium well. So, there's still a little bit of blood on there. We're going to go ahead and let this cook probably for another 2 minutes on this side. Okay, so after the couple of minutes are up, we're going to remove our steak from the oven. And it's ready to be plated. You can hear it still sizzling a little bit. Use my handy dandy little tongs here. And there you go. And of course, you know, we have some green beans and some potatoes. That's what we like to have with our steak. Okay, so I've showed you how to make a restaurant style steak minus the grill marks. If you really want to have grill marks on your steaks, you can put them right on the rack after they're done cooking just to give them a little bit of a char. Lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, some McCormick steak flakes, salt and pepper, and a cast iron skillet. It really is that simple. Takes maximum to make it well done, probably 8 minutes. 5-6 minutes for medium well, and even less than that if you like it medium rare or rare. And you can have restaurant style steak right at home without having to go over your budget.